broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome back to another episode of So You Think You Can Dance here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Kristyn Burtt, and I'm excited. All the ladies are at the table, and nobody puts Jake DuPree in the corner. How are you, Jake?
I'm amazing. I'm Jake DuPree.
I love you on the couch, and you've got like a novel of notes this week.
Oh, so many pages.
And it's hot pink, which makes me really happy. So I just absolutely love that. All right,
love it.
Next to me, Alison Dean.
Hello, I'm Alison Dean, back for more fun.
And she's monitoring the chat room, so don't forget to hop on and chat with her.
Yes.
And of course, Chloe West.
Hello, back again, guys. Fiery as ever.
All right, and joining us from season 11, and she's lucky I invited her here because the first time we met, she spilled wine all over me.
It wasn't good. My bad. My bad, Kristyn.
No, it wasn't. And it was. I just want to say we did a pose off. Our bottles hit together. It was like a freak accident, and the photographer captured the most.
It was amazing. What was his name?
Tyrone.
I love Tyrone.
He was just with me. I use him for a lot of things, and he took photos of me rappelling 24 stories down a building. So.
Oh, wow.
I was going to bring you some Tide to Go in a bottle of red wine just in case.
The dress is fine, you guys. I was going to wear it today, but I was like, I've already...
You should have.
Well, you gotta tell us how you got it out.
How did I get it out? It's called Costco soap.
Oh.
It came right out.
Good old Costco.
Kind of amazing. She and I talked about it, and it was a Target $24.99 dress, so she knows that I wasn't mad at you at all.
I was like...
She was mortified, and I'm like...
Everyone was like, this would happen to Emily. Like, just typical. I wasn't really that surprised. I was just like, I feel so bad.
It was awesome. It was hilarious. And I walked around the rest of the party as the host of the party with a red stain, but I was like, it's a wine party. It's fine.
It's a good story.
And an excellent story, yes.
It is. And I'm like, so Emily and I are forever tied together by that photo.
Yes, tied together. I see what you did there.
It's full circle.
That's good.
All right, we are finally in New York City, the last of the audition cities before we go to Vegas, even though it wasn't the last audition city. We know Los Angeles was in real life, but the magic of television. I'm happy. I always feel like by the end of the auditions, I'm like, let's just go to Vegas. Let's get to that round.
Yeah.
I agree.
I wish Vegas was 4 weeks. Like, I wish it was 4 episodes long. Vegas week is my favorite week to watch. It's
Me
so
too.
intense.
And our season, they only did half of an episode for it. They cut it, stuffed it all into like an hour.
We couldn't see the drama of like everyone falling on their head and being super tired.
Yeah.
And it feels the most like a real dance audition because they have, hundreds of you guys on a stage and they're, Sonia's getting in there and like everybody's so intense. I love Vegas week, so I'm super excited.
And I think with last year too, we didn't get to know some of the contestants because Vegas is really where you get to know people.
Yeah.
And then, when the top 20 list is out and you're like, who's that?
Who is that?
I know. It's amazing. But we did see your audition. You had auditioned in Chicago.
In Chicago, yes.
And you had auditioned in season 8 and 9?
Season 8 and 9, yeah. Third time's a charm. That was my motto for the year.
That's awesome.
Now, you just have to, if you haven't seen Emily's audition in a while, you had not danced. Like, you just, threw together a solo and went to the audition, right?
Oh, yeah. It was, there's a dance company at Wake Forest where I went to school, WFU, Dance Co. Love it all the way. But I hadn't trained, fully since high school, going to classes every day. And my mom called me, and she was like, Emily, guess what I just did? I was like, what? She's like, I just booked you a flight to Chicago. I was like, what the heck is in Chicago? She's like, you're going to try out for the show again. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I have 3 days to put together a solo and make it work, and luckily it worked out.
That's awesome.
No big deal, then I make the top 20. No big deal.
What a good mom.
Oh, she's
That's
the best.
cool.
She's probably watching right now. Hi, my live chat.
She follows me on Twitter. The season
loves you.
11 parents are
they the best?
amazing.
Bob
the
Coffey?
Bob Coffey.
Bob Coffey.
What, I don't know what Bob Coffey did the other day, but he favorited, hashtag boy party, and I was like, that just made my day.
Bob Coffey is the best. He tweets
Pam
more than I
Coffey,
tweet. I love them.
Debbie Rocky, all of them. They all follow me. I follow them all back because I was like, you kind of have to. I'm like, I love season 11 parents. I'm obsessed. I follow your mom too. Don't you worry.
Betsy.
All right, let's get with the first auditioner, and that was Virgil Gadsden, a season 8. Did you see him in season 8 at all?
I didn't. My life was short-lived on season 8.
All right. You never
I didn't
know.
get a chance to.
You never know where people run into each other, but he's also a Broadway veteran. He was in After Midnight. So I'm going to start with Jake since he's on the couch. What do you think?
I was really like blown away by him. I thought that for a while I was like getting on with it, like a little bit, like it was a little bit too much character personality, but I thought he actually had some really, really good, interesting things because it's a mix of like stage and the street stuff. Like I felt like he was able to blend them, I think, maybe the best out of some of the people that they were showing on the show. So I hope that he makes it. I mean, I don't know if he will, but I think he'll be a good diverse person to have in there in terms of style-wise.
Yeah, I mean, he was auditioning for the street team, but he obviously has that stage presence and that understanding of what it takes. Yeah, what'd you think?
I was on your page, 100% Jake, and I don't know, I was just impressed with his precision. Like, everything was just, he was Mr. Precise, and I really am looking forward to whatever Twitch is going to make him do. I don't know, I'm really excited about that, because I feel like he is going to be able to hold his own on a very interesting level. So yeah, I was a fan.
He reminded me a lot of Fiction. Just his like the way he performs and the certain moves that he could do. But he just reminded me a lot of Fiction. And my roommate and I were watching it together, and he hasn't watched the show in a while. And I kept going, when the judges like them when they let them do their whole dance.
Oh, exactly.
And they totally let him do his whole dance, and he told a story with it too. So I think he's probably going to go far. I hate having you here, and I love having you here, Kristyn, because I feel like you're going to spoil it for me. I'm like, I hope he makes it.
I do have another name.
He doesn't.
Oh.
It's a ballet.
She can whisper it in my ear.
I am really weak on the street team, other than Yaya, but it's like
Love Yaya.
Yaya's amazing.
She was in my group round in Pasadena week last season. Yeah, so I got to know her well, and she's amazing. She's so cool.
And even better this year.
Oh yeah, she's a beast. She's awesome and such a nice person. She's really cool.
I love that. I love following her on Twitter. Like, she's always with her boyfriend, like, FaceTiming, and then they tweet it out, and they're really cute.
They are really cute.
What did you think of
He was good.
Virgil?
You're right. He reminded me a lot of Fiction. He's a good mover, too. He did, like, some cool tricks in there, like the side jump down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was super cool. Good height there. But more than that, you can just tell he's a good mover. Like, he's aware of what his body's doing, and it's not too crazy and over the top. But he kind of reminded me of some Michael Jackson vibe.
Oh, that's a
little
good
bit. Like, he did, I don't know, he's a good mover.
And it helps that Warren Carlyle was the choreographer for his show. You know that, like, Nigel was like, yes, we love Warren.
Yeah.
And you were in his show, and that's
And
always helped.
he won the Tony.
Yes, he did for that show. It's kind of amazing. All right, he, of course, goes to Vegas. We go on to Alexa Meyer, auditioning for the stage. I wrote first off when I've been joking about this, but there was like 10 of them. The contemporary dancers, no more splits. No more.
Oh, my God.
No more splits in your choreo. It's
and
like
holding the center split.
You're all strong. You're all fit. You're all amazing
Your
and
ankles
flexible.
are really, really flexible.
Yeah, we got it. It's time. It's always funny. It's like a trend.
Yeah.
Oh, each season has like that move. I remember one season was like the jump drop to the knee.
Yes,
like
the knee drop.
knee drop.
She did the other move that everyone does, which is like the walk back.
Oh yeah,
And you're like, I'm over that move too.
We need to make a YouTube video of like the 5 most like so you think you can dance like contempt moves.
I love it.
Yes.
Have you seen? I think Robert Hoffman did the video, and it's
Yes.
the top 10 contemporary moves or something. It's hilarious. You have to look
It's
it
always
up.
like the reach and
Yes,
it's a good
it's
one.
so funny.
We'll have to retweet that and find it. A good one.
But like there was some loss of connection throughout, and I kind of was feeling that. So I thought she was okay, but she just wasn't at like my top. She wasn't, like super fan. No.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Oh.
I did.
Oh.
I really liked her, and she was strong. And,
Yes.
Obviously, like, I think, was it Paula who said, I think your nerves were getting to you?
Yeah, maybe.
Which, obviously, like, going back to my audition, I was like, oh my God. But I disagree. I think she did awesome, and I think she performed really well. And, she was one of my favorites, I think.
Interesting.
Yes. I really liked her. I always like when girls, I think this about your audition too, is that it's like strong. It's like a very strong girl who's just like go. And I thought that I don't know. I just wrote very muscular, strong female dancer, and I like that she is young. Like she's only 19, but she is a woman when she moves, and I think that's exciting. I really liked her
I did too, and I think that she was really dynamic. Like there was a lot of textures in her movement. Like a lot of the time in contemporary, you'll have someone who's soft and beautiful throughout or really hard hitting, but she would hit something and then melt out of it. And I love that kind of movement. She was just like oozing through everything.
Good.
Oozing.
Wait, was this one with the really, like, she looked really cute, dark hair, really great body?
Blonde.
with the blue
From Utah,
bra.
I think.
Yeah, she's from Utah.
I can't remember what she looked like.
Yeah.
She was forgettable, I guess.
But I have to say about Paula, I love that she's been giving notes and some really good feedback to some of the dancers.
She did, and this episode especially, I feel like
really good.
She gave really good feedback to people who she was on the fence about, especially.
You know who else likes feedback? We do. We just want to remind you guys, you like that? All right, we just want to remind you that we do have a Podcast One survey going on. Let us know what you think about AfterBuzz TV. That was good, you guys.
That was a really good one, too.
Thank you. AfterBuzz TV, let us know what you want to see on the show this year and everything else. It just takes a few minutes. You can find it all at podcastone.com. So, and keep those comments and tweets coming. We love them. And also here in the chat room. Let's move on to the third dancer of the night, because this one was emotional. This was Corey Cleveland, 31 days sober, and he's at the audition.
Yeah.
How do you not feel for that person?
Oh, I was feeling it. Yeah. I was tissues feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt it a lot. I loved him. I thought he was, I don't know, I thought he definitely had star quality in this very understated sort of way. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he holds his own in Vegas, but I am rooting for him.
I really liked him, and I thought his movement was awesome. I actually wish that they didn't cut and edit to his cat story. I wish they would have kept on him emotionally, because he was like about to cry when Nigel was like, tell me more. And then they cut and, told the better version of the story. But I would have loved to see that moment of where he had to like get himself together, tell a little bit on the mic, and then go dance. Yeah, like I really wish they would have kept it, because his story is obviously very powerful and emotional, and it was just really cool, like when his little thing of like, I'd rather dance than do drugs, and you were like, oh.
And it's so recent. Like I feel like they've had a few stories like that in the past, but it was like they've been clean for a couple of years now, and they're kind of going back. But this is like last month he's going through this, so his emotions were probably on a totally different level than any other person who's had that story before. So it was good for him.
Yeah, I mean, think about what you guys were doing 31 days ago. You know what I mean? And someone doing something so dramatic and so destructive, and finally just having that moment of like, I've got to stop, I've got to be clean, I've got to do this.
Yeah. I thought his story carries him a little bit more than his movement. I actually wasn't blown away by what he was doing, but I was moved because you could tell he's really lived something at 24, and I think that's exciting, but I hope that Vegas pushes him to the next level, because for me, I didn't think it was that great in terms of movement.
Yeah, he wasn't as good as some of the other guys we've seen, like his footwork on the ground, like doing the slides back and forth. He wasn't as strong, but you just root for him.
Yeah.
And this is what I like about the street thing. And, I was at work today, and my editor-in-chief, she was like, I need to talk to you about last night, so you think you can dance. I mean, she like pulled me into her office, but she said these kids, a lot of these street kids, didn't have the training, they had rough lives. This is giving them an opportunity. And even for Corey, he's probably not going to make top 20, but if this gives him the opportunity to live and stay clean and have a great life and dance and have passion, great. I'm glad that Nigel gave it to him. And I know some fans are frustrated because they're like, we're seeing less ballroom this year, we're seeing less of this, less of that. But understand that street is a huge part of the dance industry. And we're going to see some breakthrough stars that we never would have had the opportunity
and
otherwise.
It's also like a lot of the street kids have actual stories. Like a lot of the stage kids, it's like, oh, I just went to dance class all the time and my life is so hard. But it's like, no, it's not. Like you're privileged to be able to get to do that.
We don't know what a bad day is.
Yeah. The street kids, like, they have to actually fight and work hard to make themselves better. And they have to kind of create opportunities for themselves. So it's like...
Yeah, like the story we'll get to later, where that's how he like helped him and his dad get out of the shelter. Was by dancing. That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just, there's something about this season in the Street Kids that I hope the show really shows a lot of them and them fighting through their struggles, learning choreography, because I think it'll be interesting because you'll see them struggle, and then push through to like do better because
they've had to.
It's in them. Yeah.
Yep. Of course, he's going to Vegas. We move on to this one. I thought was interesting. This is Justin Balassi, Street, but he's a hoofer, not a tapper.
Yes.
I'm going to start with you, Chloe, because you're a tapper.
And I'm so glad. I was hoping that one of the guys would come in as a tapper and say that they were street, and he like told you a little bit about the history and how it is a street dance. And I think it was cool because the first guy was street but had been on Broadway, and it shows that, you know, a lot of times these dances will start as like a street and then they'll move into such mainstream that maybe you would think it was stage or that it's always been on this. And so it was so cool. And I totally agree with what the judges say. Like, he wasn't on the music at all, but he was so good.
Oh my gosh, he was so good.
It was insane.
I like stopped listening to the music. I was just
I didn't care. After
You're
like
insane.
At first you're like, you're like, what are you doing? And then you're like, I don't care, you're so good.
I was reading, Travis has a blog now, I guess, and he follows the auditions and everything, and he made a good point that a lot of the times clearing music is really hard for auditioning. So he was like, I wonder if that was why maybe there was some issues there. Maybe they didn't clear his solo song, and I mean, I'm not sure.
That's a really good point, because we have that happen a lot on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
The pros get really frustrated.
I mean,
with
like
that.
whenever you make it through those first initial rounds, you have to turn in your music, and it's like, they have to listen to the song to make sure that you didn't edit it or that you bought it officially. So he might have had a song that was like not approved. And
Yeah, so
they
you
probably were
never
like,
know.
well, these are your options. So he had to be like, okay. I mean, you never know.
But he wouldn't have been allowed to say that when the judges started asking him questions. He couldn't reveal that.
He might have said that, but
they cut it out.
They probably would edit it out, I would assume.
I mean, if not, I didn't even care. I was just like,
I didn't care either.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I kind of wish there was no music, but I thought he was outstanding.
He could have done it without music
Easily.
Yeah, easily. He was a good performer in like he was a very good internal performer. I don't know how to describe that, but a lot of time tappers and Valerie and Zach are so good, but they're so good at performing outward to the audience. But he was like super internal and like grimy with it almost. I loved it. I thought it was really cool.
I'm really thinking about that music thing, because he was like, my music's 4/4, and they were like, no, it's 3/4. So I bet it wasn't his original song.
I would assume.
Because I was like, what tapper? I mean,
know.
they're so good at rhythm and musicality. What tapper wouldn't
And
know?
he asked, he was like, can I do it to another song or without music? Remember he asked that?
Yeah.
And they left that in. Like
Yeah.
You never know.
I'm sure. I bet that's exactly what
Look
it
at that. We put a puzzle together.
I like
He's going to Vegas. He's going to Vegas.
I hope he makes it. I really like him. And I hope he makes it so on the street side, you know, he has to like learn the street choreography, because it would be really interesting to see like what he does with that.
And it's like, I'm thankful. I was talking to somebody about this today, and we were like really bummed, because one of the coolest things about the show is that seeing these people from different styles learn styles that are completely not their own, which would be cool for him because he's a hoofer, and it's like, should he do hip hop? Can he do hip hop? And it's like, he'll probably come out there and kill it. And that's what the show's about.
I mean, Valerie and Zach last year were both tappers, and
Melinda Sullivan and everybody like that too.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Aaron. Love Aaron.
All right, tappers.
I know, Team Tap. Team Tap, Team Tall. All right, we go on to Mr. Hollywood.
Mr. Hollywood.
Thomas Cordell. I called it street-ish. It was breakdancing, but, you know, this guy was just fun.
Yeah.
This guy was, I mean, he was so funny to watch, but that poor guy, I mean, he was hilarious. His jokes, like, everything he was saying was out of control.
My favorite part was listening to his accent. He had, like, that Brooklyn, I'm a paper shredder.
Yeah.
I love it.
What is a paper shredder? Like,
I don't know.
You go to a paper shredder company and you shred papers all day?
guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Official
who
thing.
knew? I liked his accent.
I love it.
Maybe he works for a building and he shreds all the building's papers.
There are paper shredding services. I'm fascinated now about his job.
His favorite shredding.
I was hoping that Paula was gonna like call someone and get him his own aerobics class or something. You know, like I was hoping for another
when he's
something.
slow-mo. Like, it was hilarious.
I thought he was funny, but yeah, that was it was entertainment. Mr. Hollywood.
He's not going to Vegas.
It just made me sad that they show him and then they show these like little clips of these amazing, beautiful people, and I was like, I want to see those people and like actually hear their names, but not.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You know, because American Idol kind of made that famous of like the silly auditions and everything, or like the spoofs, and then I do get to a point I'm like, I don't need to see them. Like I get, we're in season 12 now, so just show me some dance.
Yeah. They've been pretty good about it though this season, I think.
A lot
Travis
less.
said that like half of his team wasn't shown in auditions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I read that in his blog. He didn't personally tell me that.
Yeah, he's doing it with Entertainment Weekly, so it's EW.com if you guys want to see Travis. And Twitch is doing the blog too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can read both sides, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I want to read this now.
Is your cousin still dancing, by the way? I was just thinking, you had...
Oh, Kelly?
Yes, your little cousin.
She, it's so cute. So she was in dance at the time. She was a gymnast. So that's why she was doing these crazy back walkovers. And now, because of that opportunity, she's been in dance ever since and competing and doing great things. And she's so cute.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So before we continue, guys, we'd like to thank everyone for supporting the show. And so we'd like to thank our sponsors as well, Mazda. And Mazda has a really important question for you guys. Does driving matter to you? There's over 4 million miles of road in the U.S. to find out. That's a lot of ground to cover. A lot of highways, freeways, wrong ways, long ways, and they're all there waiting to be driven on. So, do you take that left turn at Albuquerque, or do you just keep going? Do you wake up early Sunday morning for a drive before the traffic, or do you take the long, windy road home for a change? If driving matters to you, just get out and drive. Why? Because driving matters.
And because
Thanks,
we
Mazda.
live in Los Angeles.
And
We don't have an
in LA.
option.
We don't have an option.
We sit in traffic all day long.
Driving is our life.
Driving does matter.
Yes, but I think we're going to move on to the next one, which is the girls' battle. And I love this.
that was
Angel
cool.
or Angela and Cookie. This was great because we haven't had the opportunity to see a street battle by women, and I love that this year we're seeing just so many female dancers on the street side that it's just they're getting their opportunity to shine.
I was really bummed that they both didn't make it. I thought they were
That
both
was
good.
so stupid.
That was
Right.
terrible. I felt bad.
And the way they edited it is they showed the girl who didn't make it more. They had way more footage of her dancing, so they as an audience member, you're like, wait,
Wasn't
what?
it confusing?
Yeah.
So I was like, why is the Cookie going too?
Yeah, they just showed her so much more, and I don't know, that was really annoying because I thought she was definitely good enough. I don't know what they saw that we didn't see.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you 100%. I was like, you're taking all the words right out of my mouth right now.
I just thought that it was a really cool moment for the show because it's like you don't ever see. I just liked the way they looked. I liked the way they moved
Yes.
together
Yes,
and
it's
separately.
awesome.
It was just. I mean, I guess I understand why they picked the other girl because she had some contemporary-ish moments, like lyrical hip hop a little bit. But I don't know that. They were both so good. I was like, this is a joke if they both don't get through. And it was
Seriously.
It was bad.
I guess I don't know what to say. I'm speechless because I guess it would have been nice to, you know how they always do in Vegas
Friends
week, the
together.
two friends, the very last, who will make it?
Whitney and Lindsay. I used to remember that year.
Yeah.
We never have two ballroom girls.
I know. And then they should have both gone through. They were awesome.
They were. I thought so too. I hope she comes back.
Yeah, I know.
I hope she does.
I hope the show comes back.
I know. I hope we get ratings are really really down this year, and it's tough.
I know. I think it's gonna get so much better when it gets into the live shows.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're really gonna see nothing new is really happening other than the stage versus street and 2 new judges. Nothing new really has happened.
Well, also having Paula as a judge, in my opinion, is a terrible idea. She's not bringing in anyone different that's not already watching the show.
True.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, we knew what to expect with Paula. I think that was the one thing when they were like, we're bringing Paula onto the panel. I love Paula.
Yeah,
she's
I do too.
amazing. But we did know from American Idol and other dance shows that she's judged and she's been on So You Think You Can Dance. We knew what to expect. So Jason Derulo has been a little bit more what's he going to give? What's he going to bring? That kind of thing. So there's a little bit more of a mystery with him.
Yeah. I wish they would treat it the way The Voice does, where they bring in, they can rotate people out like that, and they almost bring in people who are like Pharrell. When you watch him on The Voice, you're like, yo, Pharrell is gonna work with this person in the future. If there was I know Usher's on The Voice, but I could see an artist like Usher being like, I want you to be my dancer. Almost farming these people out. I think that would be more interesting as a panel than a Paul Abdul.
And I think it'd be also exciting if they actually had like teams, each of the judges, if it was 3 random people, like our 3 choreographers, and they each got to like fight over who they got. I think that'd be really cool.
So much fun. I missed the guest judges as well. I know in Chicago you had Fabrice, who was like fantastic.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he had some great comments for you. Like, I would have been like, yes.
He was amazing.
So great. But I do miss like Christina Applegate or Jenna Elfman or any of
I
them
do
coming
too.
in.
It was fun.
I thought that they were still going to bring in the guest judges for the auditions, but keep all 3 of them too. But I guess
Yeah, maybe we'll see them for
It definitely
the show.
added to the flavor of the show. I agree. Yeah.
I miss him. All right, we're going to move on to Allison Wilcox, and she is from Vegas, going to Vegas.
Oh, this
she is on the stage. This was one. She started out great in a beautiful, gorgeous ponché.
Yes.
And then I was like, where did the content go?
I think that she blanked a little bit. I think that she had stuff planned, and then all of a sudden it was just like boom,
Gone.
And I said that I was like, it looks beautiful. Like I liked her look. I liked the bangs. I thought the dark lip was really cool. And I was like, she's an amazing technician. I just think that she was just all over the place. Like it just was like, I don't know where she was going, but it was sad because I feel like I agree with Paula. She is better
than the choreography. Yeah, I was like, that's the perfect comment.
I mean, I think that was a nice way to say certain things. I felt like she wasn't finishing any of her moves. Her moves were like here, and then it was like, and the next move, and then I'm at the next move, and it was just.
But that's what I think, that she forgot what she was doing.
Yeah, it was so weird to watch, and I love her look. I love her body. That's like I love watching that kind of body dance, but she just. I was like, what are you doing? And yeah, it was a bummer because she set you up and you're like, oh, she's going to be great. And you're like, oh, she dances professionally all the time. This is going to be good. This is going to be like a good show for her. But I don't know. I hope they were right. I hope they made the right decision. Maybe, you know how sometimes they know about dancers before they come on the show. Maybe they know more about her.
But I also think I think she would have been sent to choreography other seasons. Probably.
I think so too.
Or no.
Good point.
I don't know why they're not having that this season.
Do you miss the choreography round?
Yes.
I do.
I think it's important to
But it could be something major is going to happen in Vegas too, like in terms of a major like weeding out of a lot of peeps.
They're going to have to, because I was writing down the numbers, and it's 105 street and 114 stage.
Yeah, so it's a lot.
So I feel like it's like a Disney audition where they like line everyone up, and then they're like,
I hope so.
you, like they just type everyone out. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that might happen.
I love those auditions. I hope they do it like that. Real dance, not even typecasting, but
casting, because it's like, don't keep me here for 10 hours to tell me I'm like too American looking. That's happened to me twice since I've been here.
And you're like the 10-hour thing. No, I could have gone to Coffee Bean. Like I don't know. It's just
I could have done many things. Yeah, many.
Could have sat in traffic. It's more exciting.
My first audition here, what was it for? It was for Nicki Minaj and Pitbull. So, yeah, it was a fun audition, but it was packed. The room was you couldn't even move, and they weren't going to typecast, I guess. But all of a sudden they said, "Okay, we're gonna typecast," and I didn't know what that meant yet because I was so new to it. Everyone in the room was like, "Yes!" Like, thank you. I was like, "What does this mean?" They're like, "You'll find out. Believe me. Like, the more you go to these things, you're gonna want the typecasting, because then they don't keep you around all day if you're not what they're looking for."
Yeah, and for people that don't know what typecasting is, it's just they're looking for something very specific. They might be looking for tall girls or short girls or blonde girls or, funky looking girls, whatever it is, and they'll just immediately say, all the blondes, you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Off you go.
Off you go. But for performers, it's the greatest thing ever, because then you can go on with your day instead of sweating it out in an audition studio.
Totally.
But she's going to Vegas, so we'll see what she's capable of. The fact that they showed her, I feel like she's going to be in the mix somehow in Vegas. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have Alain Latour, also known as the Hurricane, and he's on the street team. He's from Haiti. I'm going to Haiti on Monday, so actually I was communicating with him. We're going to be my outlet's going to be interviewing him.
Nice.
Cool.
is he going to be in Haiti?
So cool.
He's not going to be in Haiti, but he's from Haiti. So because we're doing a whole bunch of stories about Haiti, we figured we would feature him.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he and I have been in touch, and but his story is really interesting.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just like how he was trying to inspire other people, and he was like, if they want to be a teacher, a doctor, anything, like he just was so positive. It was so cool, and He was really good.
I thought he was great.
And I totally agree with the judges. He was just so captivating with his smile that you were like, I would say yes on your smile.
I love that he came out to the stairs and
Yes.
He was so good. His stair dance, like, who doesn't love a good stair dance?
I was like, yeah.
Who doesn't love a good stair dance?
And a pole slide off the. I mean, everything. He was really working those stairs.
He just worked it. And, you know, and to understand, just because I've had to do so much research on Haiti and everything else and get 8 million shots, the country is extremely poor. It has not recovered. There was no country barely before the earthquake. It's been even more dramatic after. So for him to come to the U.S. and make a success of himself and, you know, give back, whatever it is, I mean, for him, it's a really, really big deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just hearing his story even more, and I'll keep you guys posted on what happens. So he's going to Vegas.
Yay!
And probably one of the first lockers we saw this season, right?
Yeah.
What I really liked is he was just a locker. Like I feel like we don't see just a locker.
It's like a hybrid of stuff.
Yeah, and so that was really refreshing actually because it was so fun to watch. And yeah, I just feel like we don't really see just lockers. So that was really cool.
Yeah. Little shout out for our next contestants because they're from New England. They're from New Hampshire, or I should say New Hampshire. New Hampshire. And I want to say, I like this. How often do we see contemporary couples auditioning together?
So smart.
I don't know.
No.
Kenya Walsh and Connor Birmingham. I didn't know if they allowed it, but
I didn't think that it was allowed, but I guess
So smart because that's how you're going to see him on the show. And like so smart to do a guy and a girl.
Partnering.
Because
especially with no choreography now, so it's like, okay, let me show you I can partner.
And like I just thought that was so smart. And who knows if they would be as strong separately as they were together, but to do that type of song with that type of emotion, they totally could have been more connected and more emotional, but it was so smart because that's how the judges see this show now because it's been on for so long. And I think in the earlier seasons it wouldn't have worked as well, but now that you're like, this is the way the show works and this is what the dances on the show look like, it was so smart.
It was super smart. Now, I want to know, I'm going to go around the room. Did you notice Connor or Kenya more?
I was watching Kenya.
I think I was watching Kenya too.
Oh, I liked Connor.
I was a Connor.
I didn't like him.
Oh, interesting.
I thought his feet were really bad.
Ooh, Kristyn.
I know. I didn't notice the feet. I was watching. You know what? I was watching his
Look
partnering.
Back. Look
All right,
back.
I'll have to go back.
Also,
Yeah, I was watching
on my
his
toe
partnering too.
I couldn't keep my eyes off her. Like I just thought that she was.
She's gorgeous.
I thought that they actually weren't gonna probably put him through. I honestly felt that way.
I mean, they didn't put Cookie through.
I know.
And with that name, how could you?
Come on.
I know. I want to be like hashtag Cookie goes to Vegas. Come on.
Empire.
You can
It's on
totally
Fox,
start
the same
that.
network.
Let's do it. We're all gonna petition Nigel. We'll be like, at Dizzy
Yeah.
Feet, Cookie goes to Vegas.
But I mean,
Vegas is over.
I thought their lifts were beautiful, and I thought his upper body strength was really impressive.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all.
I think that's what really got it is because he just looked so small, and then all of a sudden you were like, wow, he's really doing it.
Yeah, but she was doing a lot of the work too.
And Paula, I think it was Paula that said, I don't think I would have noticed you, Connor, or I thought I was going to notice Kenya more. And so maybe doing the partnering thing was super smart.
Yeah.
And how do you do contemporary fresh? You know, how do you do something different outside the box? This was it.
It was smart.
I thought it was great.
They're both
It was
going
a
to Vegas.
risk, but it was the smart choice.
I have another shout out to give from Bailey Toney.
Hey, Bailey!
Yep.
Love her.
Bailey said, "See you tomorrow."
She was probably one of my biggest supporters throughout the whole season, and I'm teaching a class, and she's coming to it tomorrow.
There you are, Bailey.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
teaching
I will
tomorrow?
see you tomorrow. I'm teaching in Orange County at Dance Precisions.
cool.
Yeah.
So much fun. I know you guys all love dance, and we do have a new dance special coming, which is kind of exciting. It's by e-host Maria Menounos, of course, of AfterBuzz TV as well. And what we're doing is they're doing casting. So they're looking for you and your family to participate in Dance Battle America. This is ABC's newest competition special. So all you have to do is go to dancebattleamericacasting.com, submit your family. It's being produced by Julianne Hough and Maria Menounos. I think it's going to be so much fun. And if you guys have seen the Dance Wars that Maria has done
So fun.
over the holidays,
Love them.
I always want to do
The
it.
Huffs are like amazing.
The Huffs are ridiculous.
Oh my
They
gosh.
take it so seriously. But I also love Kate Hudson and her family. The Hudson
so
ones are really
They're
fun.
good.
I love it.
Yeah, so don't miss out on that. I'm like, next time I'm going to like pull my kittens out and make my boyfriend dance. We'll do it.
Bailey, you should do it.
Bailey.
Bailey. Come on, Bailey. We want to see that. Tweet it to us.
All right, we have another ballroom dancer, Ryan Raffler. He's 18. He's on the stage team. I'm hearing some giggling from Chloe, so I'm going to start with her.
This kid. First off, his mom was hilarious. I was obsessed with his mom.
Yeah, the mom was amazing.
So funny.
Sex bomb.
Literally.
This man is on drugs. He should not be on the show. I'm like, he makes me so nervous. I don't want him to be on near the recovery guy. He was okay, but I don't want to watch him on TV. I don't like this guy. He doesn't make it to the top 20. He was a crazy person. I don't like
I
it.
really feel.
Exactly.
But his dancing was like, okay. And also, how have you never practiced without a partner for ballroom?
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, he's like, I've never done it before. I'm like, well, he's
They don't do
actually
too many solos as
but-
ballroom dancers.
Yeah, but how have you never practiced?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure maybe the length of the solo is the only thing I could think of maybe that he meant.
And the fact that Nigel compared him to Dimitri, I was like,
It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Dimitri, I remember
Chaplin's,
Dimitri. I'm
next
like,
level.
okay.
and I also wrote this down. I was like, not to like pick on him and his body, but I was like, the way that he was moving, there was no strength to his upper body. It was just like noodles. And I was like, this is annoying. And then you look at Dimitri, who's so built and beautiful.
I didn't
to
see
compare the two, I was
anything
like,
similar.
get out of here. No.
Yeah.
No.
I really want to see him in Vegas. I'm eager to see
He's
him
gonna
in
be
Vegas.
terrible. He's gonna run away and go on the strip and do something.
Will he bring his mom? I want his mom to be there in the audience.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe she will be.
I only like him with his mom.
He's 18, so
he's young.
She was funny.
Might
She
need
was
it.
like, this is all hard work I've done.
She was really funny.
She was good.
I feel like Calvin Klein is going to give him a modeling contract or something.
Yeah, because
though.
he looks
His
like a drug
jawline.
addict.
Everyone was saying that Teddy, my partner,
Yeah.
they kind of looked similar with the jawline.
But, yeah, I can see that. But
I guess everyone
interesting.
was tweeting Teddy. They looked
I cyberstalked him
Teddy's
today because I just was like fascinated by him.
Yeah.
And he's a performer at Universal Studios Hollywood.
so
He's a West Coaster.
West Coaster.
Yeah, look at me. I'm
I
like,
ran into him.
I cyberstalked him just because I was
You might
like,
run into Hollywood Boulevard.
like at City Walk. He is going to Vegas. We'll see what happens. But he's ballroom, so we know what happens in top 20 with ballroom. All right, let's go to Bobby Major. He is street, but he's on the anime side. I feel like another thing we just haven't seen a lot of this season. So
Everyone is Team Chloe, by the way. In the chat said everyone is Team Chloe.
Tell them you love them, Chloe.
I do love them.
That's hilarious.
This guy could fold himself in like ways that's like not normal. Like he was waving behind his back, like with his elbows connected. I was like, what is happening? This was cool. This was really cool.
He had some great isolations.
Yeah.
He was a guy who was doing things that usually you see contortionists like girls
Exactly.
doing. Like that back wave is something you see like contortionist girls do. And he started his dance off like that.
Yeah.
And he was so tiny. And he has the best story. And I love him. And I hope he gets in top 20. And I hope he goes really far. I
You
really,
do?
really, really like him. Yeah.
I think he might do well. I don't know if he'll make it the top 20 though.
It'll be-
As compared to some of the other people we've seen.
There's some strong street dancers this
They
year.
really are. Yeah. But I was a big fan. I'm with you on that too. Standing ovation. I was with the judges. I was like, yes, I give you one too.
I mean,
yeah.
his story is the best. He
was a good
was
story.
dancing to get out of a shelter with his dad, where he lived for 10 years.
No, that's
that's a different guy.
wrong one.
Just kidding.
That guy's gonna make the top.
Wrong
20
one.
for sure.
But he's coming up next.
Okay.
Hold that
Waiting. You're like waiting.
Kidding, guys.
Hold that thought.
And the
Chloe.
anime guy was the one with the fiance. The fiance was holding a sign for him.
Oh, yeah. This guy was awesome. And his fiance was the best. Sorry, I was distracted.
Here's my fiance.
Yes,
that one.
No, his fiance was the best. I was obsessed with her. No, this guy was actually so good. You don't think he'll make top 20? I thought he was really good.
I don't know. I just felt like there are other people who are probably better
Yeah.
or more memorable
Really?
than him.
We just don't know how all of these street dancers are going to handle choreography.
Yeah.
So true.
Jamal Sims, you've got Dave Scott,
Jamal
and
Sims is
Nappy Tabs.
legit too. Like I
Yeah.
just think
So
that
many choreographers in Vegas week. There's so
That's
many.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
that's
So cool.
yeah. I mean, and they're going to really put them through the ringer on this.
Yeah.
Wait, so so street dancers, I think this is, I heard right, they don't have to do any stage styles.
Not until top 20.
That's crazy.
Wait. Like top.
Top 20, everyone's doing everything.
Really?
Yep.
It's gonna get interesting.
That's
It's gonna get interesting.
It's gonna be so weird.
Get those ratings up. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Let's see some people.
I'm like, let's do
That's
some ballroom.
hard.
That's when we'll see ballroom, and it's not ballroom dancers, so
Oh.
So no ballrooms made the top 10 that you've heard of. Wow.
nobody this year. And there are a couple strong ones in there. So, Alan is. Did you work with Alan? Yeah, you're doing Ballroom with the Twist. Alan Jenkins?
Yeah. I haven't met him, but I've heard all about
Yeah,
him.
he's on some of the later dates, so he has been canceled on those.
He has.
Do you feel redeemed, by the way, after we were talking about this?
I'm working with
After her
Jonathan
salsa and Oksana.
and I go in the first day and I'm like, what did I get myself into? For Ballroom with a Twist, it's a ballroom show and there's a few contemporary dances. And Casey Askew and I were asked to join the cast. And I was like, yes, like redemption round from the salsa. And I get in, it's Jonathan and Oksana who choreographed my salsa. And they're like, did you bring your ballroom shoes? I was like, I did. I was like, I did it. Redemption.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they let you keep all your shoes that they give you on So You Think?
Most of them. Like the ballroom shoes and a few like the little sneakers, but not all of them.
Do they reuse some of it? It's so weird to reuse dance shoes
Yeah,
because
they
people
do.
break
They
things
reuse
in
a
differently.
lot, yeah.
That's really odd to me.
Yeah, I mean,
is weird.
I have really high arches, so I can't imagine like someone that hadn't broken in the shoes prior to me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I need to break these in.
Okay.
Hats and everything, they all have
know.
names in them from past seasons.
Well, hats.
That's cool.
okay. Hats. Different.
I remember Jordan had been like, look, it's Eliana's.
Yes.
Eliana's hat.
She was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that day. She was super excited.
That's a good one. We want that hat. All right, so Bobby's going to Vegas. Let's go on to, we're going to start with Chloe because Chloe is all about Elizor Chapman. He is the homeless one. He's 18. What do we got?
I love him. It's going all the way. Anyways, if you missed 10 minutes ago when I told this story during another Dancers chat, this is the kid who lived in the shelter with his dad for 10 years, and he's street dancing, and he was give his dad 75% of what he made from dancing on the street. And then they were able to move out, which is the best story ever.
That is awesome.
That opening move. What?
Oh no! I was
That's
with
like
you.
experience.
Wow.
That's like experience yoga stuff.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
That's what I was talking about with the
His B-boy Bronx style.
Yeah, he was so good. I love him.
He was so
and
good.
when he hit a knee because he was so overwhelmed with emotion that he's making it to Vegas. In my mind, he's never left the Bronx. He's never had money to leave Manhattan, and like I'm so happy for him. I want him to go so far.
I guarantee he's gonna go so far.
I see him like in a Cheerios commercial.
In
like,
a Cheerios.
Doesn't he look like he could be in a Cheerios commercial?
Adorable.
I would buy Cheerios from him.
Sure.
You heard it here first. Predictions.
I really like the way that when the judges were talking to him at the end, he was so like well-mannered and lovely, just like because he did this dance and he was just like so expansive and like this like flipping tornado, and then he came out and he was just so poised, and to be 18 and to have that much life experience, that's amazing. That's
stuff
awesome.
you can't bring to the table. Like I was studio trained, so I can't bring that life story or anything like that. And that's what I love that we're seeing some of these street stories this season.
Yeah.
And we also got a great lesson in breaking. I love that. Ken Swift on
That was amazing.
1970s. It really was. I have to say, hands down to Nigel for giving us all these little dance history lessons this season. It's
so
really
cool.
been
I
amazing.
know there has been a lot. The tap history one. Well, Nigel didn't get that, but
Jid, like just all of that. It's
It is
been
cool.
really, really cool.
And I like that they're getting the people who created it.
Yes.
That's really cool. Like, that he's like, yeah, I was one of the creators of this. And you're like, whoa.
What? Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you see regionally where all these styles started. I think that's kind of awesome too. We're going to go on to Breaker Ballet next, and we talked about this before we went on the show. And I felt like it was kind of mean. Poor Ian Williams.
I agree. I felt bad for him.
too. I
felt bad.
It was sad trombone for me.
I mean, even how they like his outro where he like left the building in snow with like
and they
ballet
were,
shoes
that
on.
was really
Zooming
sad.
in on him.
Yeah, I felt bad too. I really did.
I really liked his beginning when he was like, it's gonna be me. But also, I was stoked for Breaker Ballet, and all he did was bad ballet. He didn't break at all.
I was gonna say I was waiting for where's the breakdancing, but he didn't do that.
I was waiting for that as well.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna happen now. No.
I knew we were in a little trouble because when they were showing like the package beforehand, you could see like the bent legs and like not the pointed toe. But you know, I always like to say, dance is for everyone, and we're not all going to be professional level, make top 20, so you think you can dance, or Jake, you're out there dancing professionally. But there's been wonderful stories, and I just hate to see someone like leave sad like that and run out the door in the snow.
Yeah, I know,
felt so
because
bad.
he was so embarrassed and
Don't
felt
get
so
discouraged,
bad.
Breaker Ballet Boy.
It's so hard with the show because going into it, it's a TV show, and that you sign those release forms, they can do whatever they want with that footage, but going through it just breaks my heart to see the people that necessarily didn't do so well, and then they're still showing. It just makes me so sad for them. I'm like, oh man, I feel bad.
That's how I felt too.
Yeah, but maybe he'll make a really good Breaker Ballet YouTube video and it'll go viral.
Yeah.
I love that idea, Chloe. We'll help
Like
that.
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million in Google ads. All right, we go on to Darius Drew stage. This was our cold-hearted snake guy.
Oh, yes.
Loved that.
I did.
I kind of had some interesting thoughts about his first dance, not the cold-hearted snake, because the cold-hearted snake one was like
He won me
off the
over
chart.
with that. I
What
loved
did we
that.
think of his first solo, though?
I liked it.
I'm looking at Jake right now.
I thought at first it was he reminded me like a little hummingbird because he was like
Buzzing around.
but then it just got to be the same like languid arms
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I don't know. I don't think that he would have made it through previous seasons, but I do think that the dance they did.
That was his
Paula's
choreo
was-
wrong.
No, I loved
Choreo
it.
round is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Choreo
I thought
round.
that like saved him.
I
For
do
me.
agree. I think it was Nigel that said it just didn't stop. Like it was kind of the same consistent movement the whole time. So I would have liked to see like more range.
Yes.
Because you can tell he has technique and you can tell he can do things, but I don't think that his choice of choreography necessarily showed it. So I just would have liked to see that. And then Cold Hearted Snake, I loved it.
That was so good.
So it makes me want to go back and watch Paula Abdul YouTube videos.
1,000,000%
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay, first we have to talk about how they didn't turn Paula's mic off, and you heard her go, "I'm gonna kill you," and then she like gets back on her voice, and she's like, "I'm so flattered."
She should have been so stoked for that, though.
Yeah. First off, Paula, be thankful that anyone has memorized any of your dances, and then these guys are freaking out about you.
Freaking out.
That doesn't happen to you, Paula.
Yeah.
I bet her YouTube
get
vid
out of
for
here.
Cold Hearted Snake is like gonna spike now,
Yeah.
thanks to them.
Because people are going to be like, oh, yeah, she was good.
Yeah.
Let's go back and watch her video.
She was everything.
Yeah,
with the
she
lady.
was.
Yeah.
Everything.
I did like, though, that she remembered that one part. Cause
Yeah, she's so
she's like, or like the snow, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was good.
She's like, I remember that.
It was good.
He, of course, is going to Vegas. He ended on a split as well. I'm like, no more contemporary slips. I'm like, oh my gosh.
After the first time Jake did that to me, where he was like, "No, Allison, we don't want to see any of that." Now every time I see it, I'm like, "Oh, yes, here we go again. There it is."
Y'all are strong. Flexible.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. We end on Alyssa Guerreri from stage. And I have something to say about this.
Tell
Yeah,
us.
go.
Tell us.
Preach.
Tell us.
I think she's like 18, somewhere around there. I didn't get her age, but
She's 18.
She's 18.
Yeah.
Girls who are more than just sexy. We've seen so many girls just like run out there with the sex appeal. You're talented. You're beautiful. You're strong. Give me more than sexy.
Yeah.
Was this to work song? Was it to the...
This was the grandma
Hosier?
girl.
The grandma girl.
Grandma
The girl. The girl
Okay.
cover. Yeah.
Very flexible, strong technique, everything. But I'm like, as women, we don't have to rely on just that. That's just what I want to say, because I felt like we've seen it a lot in the last few weeks, and I'm like, sexy is good sometimes,
Hers
but
didn't bother me, though, because she had so much talent to back it up.
she had the talent, but she
was beautiful.
She didn't need it. Like, she didn't need the sexiness, because she could have nailed it no matter what.
She didn't bother me as much as the other, like, blonde, curly one who I ate alive
Mary
last
Kate.
week.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But yeah, like I really like this girl, and I think she's gonna go really far. I think she's
cute,
that type.
too.
Yeah, you remember her
Super cute.
story, super cute. I like her look, great dancer. So I think does she make top 20, Kristyn? Do you know?
I've been sleuthing about her, because I'm hearing maybe yes. I'm hearing maybe yes. So.
I do think that she didn't need to be as sexy with that song.
Maybe
don't
that was
know.
what bugged me.
Maybe that's what it was, because I didn't feel the connection of her performance with that song personally.
Yep.
So maybe that's what it was about it. I don't know.
I just wanted more movement in general. Like I felt like a bunch of développés and battements. I was like, we get it. Like that right leg is amazing. Like, we really get it. But I don't know. I enjoyed watching her because you can tell that she's capable of amazing things. And I thought the same thing about that song. I was like, that's such a cool song. Like
so
move
cool.
to it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I just was like, she doesn't need to do this.
I felt like she's one of those people that could have had like a moment on the show, like a memorable solo, and that just was kind of like, this is about your grandma, not about you.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. I don't know.
Yeah, but
And a date for Nigel. Yeah.
a date for Nigel.
How old is Nigel?
Ooh.
I think probably late 60s.
I was gonna say, he's in his 60s, but
He's younger than I thought. I thought he was 70s.
oh no, he's in his 60s, yeah. But yeah,
He's looking good.
he's looking good.
Yeah.
Well, he can afford it.
I thought he had plastic surgery, so I actually thought he was older and just looked really good.
I don't know anything about his injectables.
You were killing me tonight. About this people.
Funny.
Fiery.
As we mentioned before, 114 on Travis's team make it through to Vegas. 105 on Twitch's team. It's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
It's a lot of people.
I'm so excited about Josh. Josh Bergassi.
Oh, yeah.
He is so
amazing.
unbelievably amazing. That's so cool they got him to do that.
Yes,
That's
and he's
amazing.
going to be choreographing Smash, Bombshell on Broadway,
So
which was
cool.
from Smash, which they did a one-night only show. Now they're like, we'll just make it a show.
I'm going to fly out and see that.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy,
Yep.
too.
I used to
Oh
take
my
his class in New
gosh.
York all the time, and before he was like blowing up with Smash or anything, he was so
and he
awesome.
dates
like,
my
so nice.
favorite New York City ballet dancer, Sarah Mearns. Them together.
This is like center stage in real life.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! I hope
My dream.
that they have. I hope that they get married and have little dance babies because those kids will be like killer
He's
Broadway ballet.
He's really
babies.
nice too. I'm happy for him.
That's awesome. My goodness. Well, that wraps up this episode. Where are we gonna Ballroom with a twist? Where are we
Ballroom
gonna
with a
see
twist.
you else? I know you just did Skechers.
I did just do a job for
Amazing.
Skechers. It was so fun. They brought in 4 amazing choreographers. We did this whole show. I was like, who knew Skechers? It was like a big, there was pyro and fireworks.
Oh my god, that's
It's
awesome.
amazing.
I was like, what, Skechers?
Where'd they have it? Was it?
It was at the Manhattan Beach Country Club. And they had
cool.
this, it was really
They're
fun.
based in Manhattan Beach. That's where their main place is.
It was a really,
Wow.
really fun job. It was so cool. I was on. There was like J-Lo's dancers were in it, and
Cool.
Beyonce's and Britney's, and just to get the chance to even talk to them about their careers, it was really motivating for me.
What did you learn from them?
What did I learn from them? They all were talking to me about, because they were all a little older than me, around like 24, 25, and just talking to them, because I was saying, you know, I'm new to LA and it's really hard and you're gonna get 50 no's before you get a yes, and talking to them, and I aspire to be like them one day. And they were saying it's just all about timing, and you'll get your moment, and once you get that moment, it'll just take you in 10 million directions, and it's all about being patient. And it was really nice to talk to people who have been here for a while doing this.
That's awesome. Who, like, if you had to choose, like, what, like, a goal, because I don't know we all have a million goals,
Yeah.
but, like, what's one of, like, your target things that you'd like to accomplish
It's
within the
so
next few
hard.
years?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to do another tour. Really, I loved touring, and I was so disappointed when Taylor Swift said she wasn't taking
Any
girl
girls?
dancers. I was like, this broke my heart. I was like, that's my dream.
I watched Eliana like on social media when she was doing the Red Tour, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I just want to do that.
They all said it was the coolest job, and
I want to go to her house.
It's
and
so, like, summer
Rhode Island.
camp, you know?
Rhode Island. Yeah.
It's like giant summer camp.
So something like that. I don't know. I'm up for anything and
Justin
everything.
Timberlake,
but-
maybe.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Janet Jackson has
That's
been
like
announcing
Teddy's
her
dream.
dancers.
Which is cool.
Do you know that Teddy is so obsessed with Janet Jackson? He's like obsessed. Like he had framed all her vinyls framed in his room, and then he didn't get to go to the Janet audition. He was like,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Maybe next tour.
Yeah,
I know.
A new album.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Emily.
you
We
for
so
having
appreciate
me.
it. Where
Thank
can
you.
everyone find you online?
Dance Emily 11, I think.
Twitter, Instagram.
I'm really bad at Twitter, but Instagram, Twitter. I guess my Facebook page is still up there. My just Emily James.
Yeah, people are like,
Yeah.
do I still do Facebook? We're not
I
sure.
know.
How
yeah.
weird.
We're not sure. Jake,
Yeah.
where can we find
You
you?
can find me on Instagram at Jake DuPree and on Twitter at Jake_DuPree and my fitness blog Ever So Jake.
Chloe. Chloe?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Chloe West X.
I'm Alison Dean. You can find me at the Alison Dean everywhere and on my YouTube show Winos and Onesies.
Winos and Onesies. I love that. I'm Kristyn Burtt at Kristyn Burtt on Twitter and the Kristyn Burtt on Facebook and Instagram. I will be in Haiti next week, so Jake's going to sit in the spot for me next week. He's going to be in charge, and he'll be a good boss. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all next week. Well, Jake will see you next week, and Chloe, Allison.
I'll be here. Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.